morning, it's Bob Mason from FX Empire and welcome to the daily crypto tech review of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin and Ripple's XRP. We'll be looking at the MACDs, the moving averages and the day's support resistance pivot levels. It is Thursday the 22nd of October. Jumping straight into Bitcoin against the US dollar, we're looking at the hourly candlesticks following yesterday's breakout on news of PayPal Wallet and Venmo supporting the spending of cryptos. We're looking at another bullish start to the morning for Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to need to avoid a fall through the pivot at 12,657 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 13,383. Going to see another broad-based crypto rally for Bitcoin to break back through to 13,000 levels and to break out from yesterday's high 13,220. So barring another extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to pin Bitcoin back. In the event of another breakout, could see the second major resistance level at 13,957 come into play. Fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level sitting at 12,073 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Bitcoin should stay well clear of sub 12,000 levels. Second major support level sits at 11,337. Looking at the MACD, we're seeing a slight narrowing of the bullish histograms after yesterday's late pullback, but nothing suggestive of a bearish morning ahead. Looking at the EMAs, we are seeing the 50 continue to pull away from the 100 and the 200, supportive of the early upside. So key through the early part of the day, avoid the pivot level of 12,657, break through, back through to 13,000 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Ethereum against the US dollar, also a bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ethereum avoid a fall through the pivot at 387.40 to support a run at the first major resistance level, saying at 406.75. Going to need to see support from the broader market for Ethereum to break back through to 400 levels and break out from yesterday's high 402.62. So barring an extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Ethereum test resistance at 420 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 421.96. A fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level at 372.19 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ethereum should steer clear of the 38.2% fib at 367. Looking at the MACD, a narrowing of the bullish histograms. That's as a result of yesterday's final hour pullback, but nothing suggestive yet of a bearish morning ahead, so need to keep an eye on that, and Ethereum's going to need to avoid a bearish cross there. Looking at the EMAs, the 50 has continued to pull away from the 100 and the 200, supportive of the morning move. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot, break back through to 400 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Moving across to Litecoin against the US dollar, particularly bullish start to the morning for Litecoin. Going to need to see Litecoin avoid a fall through the pivot at 51.74 to support a run at the first major resistance level, sitting at 56.58. Going to need to see an extended rally on the day for Litecoin to break out from yesterday's high that was at 55.19. So barring a broad-based crypto rally throughout the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, could see Litecoin test resistance at 60 before any pullback. Second major resistance level sits at 60.03. Fall through the pivot would bring the first major support level sitting at 48.29 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Litecoin should stay well clear of the second major support level sitting at 43.45. Looking at the MACD, we had a narrowing of the bullish histogram, but as we can see here, we're seeing a widening again, suggestive of a bullish day ahead. And we're seeing the 50 pull away from the 100 and the 200, also supportive of a bullish part of the day and through the early morning. So key through the early part of the day, avoid a fall through the pivot, break back through to 55 levels to bring resistance levels into play. Finally, moving across to Ripple's XRP against the US dollar, also bullish start to the morning. Going to need to see Ripple's XRP avoid a fall through the pivot at 0.2499. to support run at the first major resistance level, so it's at 0.2566. Then you see support from the broader market for Ripple's XRP to break out from yesterday's high 0.255. So barring extended rally on the day, expect that first major resistance level to cap any upside. In the event of a breakout, should see Ripple's XRP break through to 0.26 levels before any pullback. Second major resistance level at 0.2617 should limit any upside. A fall through the pivot level would bring the first major support level at 0.2447 into play. Barring an extended sell-off on the day, Ripple's XRP should still well clear of sub 0.24 levels. Second major support level sits at 0.2380. Looking at the MACDs, a marked narrowing of the bullish histograms and a possible bearish cross there. Need to keep an eye on the MACD through the early morning. But when we look at the EMA, suggestive of a bullish morning ahead, we've got the 100 doing a bullish crossover through the 200 and the 50 pulling away from the 100 and the 200, supportive of a positive day ahead. So keep through the early part of the day, avoid sub 0.25s, break out from yesterday's high 0.255 to then bring resistance levels into play.